Hi again, I'm Rachel Stern, founder of GovTech Ventures. In last week's video, we talked about how to decide which markets to pursue first based on your sales team's strengths, speed of closing versus contract value, and how that shapes your go-to-market motion. Today, we're zeroing in on one of the most common traps GovTech founders hit after making that choice: pilots that never turn into paying contracts. The difference between a nice test and a paid deployment almost always comes down to two things: setting the right KPIs and equipping your champion to sell your product when you're not in the room. Government pilots are a double-edged sword. They're fantastic for lowering risk and getting your foot in the door, but without clear success criteria, they can turn into indefinite projects. I've seen pilots drag on for a year, even two, with no budget allocated for the next phase, not because the product failed, but because no one agreed up front on what success looked like and how it would be measured. And here's the kicker. Your internal champion, that one person rooting for you inside the agency, often has to make the case to other decision makers without you present. If you haven't armed them with a crystal clear proof of concept and all the right storylines, you're expecting them to win a sales pitch with half the playbook missing. Before your pilot starts, you and the agency must agree in writing on three things. 1, success metrics. What exactly are we measuring? Reducing permitting process time by 30%, improving 311 response time by 20%. Something that is measurable and clear. Number 2, data source and collection method. Who will measure it and who owns the data? Number 3, decision trigger. What thresholds of performance automatically prompt a procurement decision or next step conversation? Then make sure your champion has these KPIs, the before and after data, and a simple narrative that connects your results to agency priorities and budget lines. Here's what makes a KPI real in a government pilot. 1, it's tied to an existing pain point the agency already acknowledged publicly, maybe in their budget narrative, in the council minutes, in their legislative reports. 2, it's tied to a dollar figure, savings, revenue, or cost avoidance, all of the things linked to the line item it impacts. 3, tied to political capital, giving elected officials a win they can share. Remember, you're not just selling to the agency, you're enabling someone inside to champion you. Give them a one-pager that lays out the KPIs, the data, and the story in plain language they can repeat. Pilots don't fail because the tech doesn't work. They fail because there's no agreed path from demo to deal, and the champion doesn't have the tools to win the deal on your behalf. Set measurable KPIs tied to agency priorities, document the decision triggers, and make your champion's job easy. Do that, and the pilots will become your fastest path to revenue.